Hello friends, welcome back to the bench. Our patient is this cute little gaming board, like miniature gaming board with 1151 socket, which actually doesn't look too bad now that I'm looking at it. It looks like a couple pins are slightly bent. We're going to take a look at it in a second. Before we do, let's update our Rework Pro from version 106 or 107 to version 108. Now this will be different if you have version 106. I have a version 107 here, and the difference between those two, if you purchased version 106, there's a good chance you actually received version 107. Version 106 was a little bit rushed. And the main difference is that in version 106, you don't have the ability to export your profiles. Unfortunately, the way we update the software, due to a few reasons, the database where you store the profiles is in the protected area. So if you uninstall the application, you lose your profiles. For that reason, we have the export profiles button. Right, I'm just gonna export it to Rework Profiles, replace the file, and my profiles are exported. And from there, profiles exported. Thank you. From there, we're gonna go to Apps and Features and find Rework. As you can see, the version is 107.35. If your version is 106, then, well, it's kind of my fault. I probably shouldn't have released version 106 without the feature of exporting profiles, because potentially now you just have to reproduce your profiles. So I don't know, you gotta write it down on a piece of paper or something, and you know, put them back into the version 108. That's a little, well, that's my bad. Sorry about that. But the good chunk of you guys that purchased the software got version 107. So just export your profiles, uninstall the previous application, like so, and let's install version 108. And I'll give you a quick rundown of the new features that are present. Okay, and we're in version 108. Now you can see that now we have the speed of heating in the top corner over here. We can also export a CSV of the process, so you can import that data to the some spreadsheet and create graphs. You can run analysis on those numbers. You can also import profiles that you just exported. All right, and most of them are going to be already here, so the program's going to ask you whether you want to override them. And all are imported again. We also have the ability to remove profiles, which was not present in the previous version. There's also a few bug fixes, one being preheating. You may have noticed in version 106 and 107 that sometimes when you hit preheat button, the process goes for 10 minutes and it terminates. As far as the program is concerned, the process has finished, but the machine has not turned off. It's still heating from the bottom, which you can, I'm not sure if you can stop it from here. Perhaps you just have to stop it from the actual machine. The reason behind that was that the holdback was set to 5 degrees, and if you start it from the high temperature, the set point will never go down to 1 or 5 degrees that is set for preheating. Thus, it will never enter the dwell zone, which means it'll just run indefinitely until the set point goes down to whatever it's set to 1 degree or whatever. So that was the problem. That has been fixed. Also, there's slight improvement in the preheating process as well. But other than that, everything is pretty much the same. So now that we have updated our software, let's get the board ready and let's replace the socket. Well, it doesn't look too bad actually. I would think that this could be corrected, right? The positions of the pins we should be able to correct those. And it's only in this tiny area over here, right? And we can see that there's some gunk on it, so that's probably what messed them up. This one's a little twisted on top of being bent, so that would be a little hard, so we would have to hold it here and push on it from here. All right, and this one's fine. Oh, okay, never mind. One of the pins is broken, so never mind. No, there's no saving this one, so we need to replace the socket. Just as well, we were gonna do it anyways, because that's what the board is here for. Now, I still get few questions from you guys from time to time. Do I still offer free socket replacements? I do for the remainder of this month, definitely. Maybe next month I'll start actually charging some money for it. The main reason is that, well, first of all, I think I got a lot of experience now replacing those sockets. Well, maybe a lot is an overstatement, but I have enough that I have a lot more confidence now replacing them. The reason I still don't charge is because mainly if you do replace the socket and you charge for it, then you should test it, right? That also adds time to, because you need to send the board fully assembled, and I have to disassemble it, replace the socket, reassemble it, and test it. That's a significantly higher time investment. But for the free replacements, I charge $10 for the socket. But I also use obviously electricity, and that's also a lot of time that I have to spend on it. Well, maybe not a lot, but especially when the board comes in disassembled. But I have to spend some time on it. I have to use the wick, I have to use the solder, I have to use the tools. It costs money to use those tools because they break. Their shelf time or their lifetime is finite. it's not gonna work forever. So technically I lose few bucks on each of those repairs. Maybe not significant amount, maybe couple bucks that I lose on these, but on the other hand I get to work on interesting boards. So I say that's a good deal for both me and you guys. But as I said, I can't, eventually I'm gonna have to start making some money off of this. Now, let's take a look at the board, see what we got here. So there's an outline. Let's see, yeah, there's a pretty nice outline. So that's good. That's gonna make it a lot easier, or at least faster and more reliable, in my view. We have solid state cabs, so technically we don't even need to cover those with aluminum. We're gonna cover the plastic components, of course. What do we have here? 2 coils up here. That's probably GT, maybe. V-Core, these are definitely V-Core. Here we got either SA or IO. Maybe this one, no. Yeah, so that's probably IO. As far as the copper, we have a lot of mass up here, and obviously we're gonna have a lot of mass over here, but 1151 sockets are relatively small. You don't really have to worry about that much. 2 memory slots. I don't know what this port is for. What do we have? 4 SATA connectors. We have one over here for M.2 and one on the other side of the board. We have nicely reinforced PCI Express, which is interesting. This is really tiny board, but it does look like it could pull some significant power. Obviously, 1151 socket, you're not gonna get super powerful CPUs for this, but it looks, you know, for the size of it, it's really nice. We have PS2, 2 USBs here. We have DisplayPort, HDMI, USB-C, 2 more USBs, regular sound, no digital output, which is perfectly fine for this size. One PCH over here. I can't see the BIOS chip. Where's the BIOS chip? Here's the BIOS. Okay, there. Very unfortunate positioning. Oh, this is loose. Loosey-goosey. They're all loose. That's not good. Yeah, it's not supposed to be that way. Yeah, that's not good. If you're having issues with reading drives, yeah, look into this, because it's not supposed to be loosey like that. But to remove the BIOS now, you're risking damage to both PCI Express, the SATA connector and M.2 connector, plus this cap over here. Well, on the boards small like this, the components have to be packed, right? No way around it. There's not much room to look at the size of it. It literally fits on the palm of my hand. Very nice board. I have to look into these. Instead of building big rigs like that, you just have a little box like those Mac Minis. I think that's pretty cool. Also, I wonder how much they cost. I gotta look into the cost of these. You would expect them to be cheaper, right? Because they're smaller, but sometimes it's not intuitive, and they might actually be more expensive. Okay, so let's prep the machine. Now I will not be providing commentary throughout the process. Probably. We'll see. Maybe I'll just do the voiceover. But the process is the same I showed you in the previous video presenting the version 106 of the Rework Pro. Now it's exactly the same, but in addition we have that speed of heating. So as that number is high, the board is heating. If it drops to close to 0, we know that we leveled off. The board is preheated. Also the service announcement. Due to severe weather conditions next week, meaning really cold, like for Atlanta, extremely cold. We had like 70 some degrees last week, and next week we got you know, like 15 degrees, 20. That's really cold for Atlanta. I will not be doing these repairs in that week, so you're more than welcome to send the board, but it'll be waiting for a little better weather. Main reason behind that is that we need low humidity. Right now I got 25% over here, which is considered low, but I prefer that to show LL, so lower than the device can possibly measure. And I need good ventilation in the shop. So for that reason, I have to have, you know, the window open, the fan in the window blowing. If it's 20 degrees outside, then that would bring the temperature in the shop to, you know, maybe 45 degrees. I don't know. I just can't do it when the weather is like that. So there's going to be a slight delay if you're sending the board, but feel free to send it in. It will be done. All right, let's get to it.
We're dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. We're dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. You search but you stay lost. We're reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious.
Okay, that was brutal for a few reasons. Reason number one, I couldn't get the socket off. Interestingly, it was holding on this corner over here. Oh, hang on, you can't see. This corner over here. This is where it was holding the most for some reason. And typically it's this corner because that's where the most copper is. But on this one, apparently we have more copper on this side. You can see it from this side because you can see only the traces going to the memory, because that's typically what we have on this side. But the lower layer must have a lot of copper. Weird. But that wouldn't be a problem. That's actually pretty typical. Every board is a little bit different. Every board behaves slightly differently. That's why Rework Pro gives you that easy ability to adjust your profiles, right? But version 108 is not ready to be shipped yet. So if you were waiting for 108, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. I don't know what happened, but you know, I start the preheating and everything worked great. But then I start the program and it just kind of starts running a different program than I actually sent to the machine. Or, you know, I would change it to 245 and it would do 235, like it didn't update. Or the holdback was, you know, 150 degrees and for some reason, you know, the set point would go to like 1 degree, and I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But bottom line, version 108 is not ready, so I had to switch back to the free software. That never fails because it actually uploads the programs to the machine. So, you know, that saved me. But also 1151 sockets are kind of difficult to work with because you never know when it actually dropped. Because it's very minute. The distance that it has to travel is very minute. With AM5 sockets, the distance is relatively big, so you can clearly see when it drops. This one, not so much. So I went all the way to 245 just in case. I put generous amount of flux, and it's aligned. It looks good. It's solid on all corners. So I think we're good. No movement, no nothing. Should be good. I think I'm gonna give it another ultrasonic bath. It looks well compared to my first, the cleaning in the alcohol alone. This is a lot better. But now under the scope, I see that there's a little bit of residue here and there still left over, residue from the flux. No, you can't even see that much. There's a little bit, yeah. I can see a little bit over here. Yeah, so maybe another 5 minutes in the cleaner and we should be good. There's also a little bit left here on the caps. If we hold it long enough, those connections over there are gonna be nice and shiny. But again, we don't want to overdo it because that's not good either. But yeah, there's a little bit of residue still left. So I'm gonna give it a little longer buff. But other than that, it seems to be okay. We'll see once we send it to the customer. So bottom line, version 108 not ready yet. And yeah, that is pretty much it. If you need a free repair like this, feel free to send me the board at least until the end of the month. I'm still keeping it going, and it also depends on other factors. I also want to get the Rework Pro stabilized a little more, introduce few features that I still need on it, but the development process is taking a while. It's taken a while to actually get all that done, amongst all the other stuff that I have to do. So I don't have that much time to work on it, but there's a little bit of work being done on it every week, maybe not every day, but every week there's a little bit of work being done in that. And hopefully, maybe next week, I will be releasing version 108 once I find out what I broke doing this. Alrighty, thank you guys very much for watching. I do appreciate you, and I shall see you in the next one.
Say